Hey everybody, what's up? It's your boy, Chef Eric Hammond again. Today I'm going to teach you how to make Carta de Musica, or better known in this country as Sardinian flatbread. Carta de Musica basically translates to music sheets. So this is a flatbread, like I said. You roll it out on a pasta machine. It consists of all-purpose flour, semolina flour, salt, herbs, and water. That's it. So this recipe, I'm making a half a recipe. It's 2.5 cups all-purpose flour, 1.25 cups semolina flour, 2.5 teaspoons of kosher salt, 1.5 cups rather of chopped herbs. I'm using rosemary, sage, and oregano, and then 1.25 cups of water. So in order to do this by hand, you want to make a well with the mixed flours, herbs, and salt. Pour in the water into the center of the well, and then just start adding the flour into the water at a time. This is the process to make pretty much any dough by hand. Pie dough, pasta dough, you name it. And you can see, even bread, and you can see the water is getting absorbed right into the center. You want to keep on putting it in until you start to get a solid mass. And then you can start kneading it. You can see there's no more liquid. It's all getting absorbed by the flours. You want the ball, when it's all come together, to be a smoothly formed, nice, smooth ball of dough. Just like this. You want to portion it into, like, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 equal parts. Wrap it in plastic. Let it rest for half an hour before you roll it out. The next step is to roll out your pasta. So you want to take your semolina, flour, a sheet tray that's dusted with semolina flour. Take out your portioned pasta dough, which is obviously the dough that we made earlier. Nice and rested, so it's very pliable, easy to work with. Stretch it out. Flatten it, sprinkle some semolina down here on your work surface. Set this to the thickest setting. Start rolling out your dough. After you make one pass through the machine, drop it down a notch. And repeat the process, going down by increments of 2 until you have a nice, thin dough that is your desired width. Take this, cut it down to the size that you need to fit onto your prepared baking sheet, and pop it right on there, just like that. Repeat the process until all your dough has been rolled out. The next step is to brush it with olive oil and dust it with just a little bit of salt on top. So you want to use your best extra virgin olive oil. You want it more of a light olive oil. This is kind of a hybrid between a Ligurian olive oil and a Tuscan olive oil. It's very light. It's called 1923. It's by Sonio Toscano. So you just want to evenly brush the entire surface area of the pasta or the bread sheets. No, lots of cultures have flatbread. Obviously, the most famous flatbread is pizza, but that uses a leavening agent. But in Judaism, you have matzah. In India, you have naan. In Italy, you have Sardinia, in particular, you have Sardinian flatbread. So it's quite delicious, and it's really not a lot of work if you know what you're doing. So just a little bit of kosher salt, just a tad to go across. It's going to give it just a little bit extra pop. So once your dough is all rolled out, oiled, and salted, you want to go into a 375-degree oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. I'm using a convection oven, and what convection ovens do, they have a fan that circulates air throughout it, so it cooks it more evenly throughout. The air circulates through it. If you're using a conventional oven, it's either going to be from the top or the bottom. So if you use a conventional oven at home, it'll cook a little bit longer. So right inside, I got it on a high fan. While the bread is cooking, clean up your mess. So about halfway through the cooking time, you want to open the doors of the oven and rotate the trays. This way, it ensures that it's an even cooking procedure. Just open it up. See how it's starting to turn golden brown? Just give the trays 180-degree rotation. And these are going to be done sooner rather than later. They're cooking pretty quick. Shut the door and wait. Okay, these are pretty much done. As you can see, they are nice and golden brown. So now you just want to remove them from the oven and cool them off. This can go a little longer, but this one's done. So it's gonna, one tray may take a little longer than the other depending on the circulation of the oven and how evenly your oven heats. So the third tray is done. We're going to remove it, and we're going to cool everything off on a rack. You shouldn't eat them now. Number one, they're too hot. You're going to burn your face off. Number two, they're still a little pliable. So once they get cold, they're going to crisp up. So once they're done, they're a nice, crisp, golden sheet. Now you can see why it's called Carta de Musica, because it's music sheets. It's like sheets with little musical notes written onto it. It's great. You could put vegetable spread on it. You could put some soft cheese on it. The list goes on. Anything you might use a cracker for or a crostini for, you could use this for. And you could hear really crunchy. These are so good. I hope that you make these and enjoy these. If you're entertaining at your home and you make this, people are going to ask you, where did you get this? And you could say, my homeboy, Chef Eric Hammond, taught me how to make it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube at Chef Eric Hammond.